Jesus is the light of the world. Welcome to the TK train at Los Altos Grace, room 12. Here we go on the train. First on the train is Lila. Sweet, sweet Lila. We started off with having her draw her own picture of herself. She was already drawing much like Matman. You'll get to meet Matman at the end of the train. And then it moved into more spatial awareness of Matman. And then we started with tracing and cutting all these different pieces and shapes here. How shapes can now create animals. Many different pieces are here. As you can see, they're all put together by the student and cut by them. And then it gets smaller, and you'll see all the dynamics here. So this is the beginning of our train. Here is Malachi. Malachi, the same thing. He did all his beginning, moved over to spatial awareness, and did his little animals with all the shapes we learned from Matman, which is the beginning of writing. As you can see, they wrote their own names. Here is Eli's. Meet Eli. Eli, or Elijah, we're all writing in capital letters at this point, and then we move into just the capital and the lowercase soon. So he starts here as the balancing Matman, spatial awareness, and all his shapes. Here is Levi. Levi is writing a little bit smaller right here already. He did a fantastic job moving from his original picture to more spatial awareness and all the shapes that he cut out. Such a loving group of kids. Here is Paisley. Paisley wrote in all capital letters. It looks like she's trying to go to lowercase here. The same thing, spatial awareness, beginning art, and then so forth and so on. Next on the train is Van. Van started off his drawing here, moved to more of a full picture of himself and body parts and all his other animals that came along. Next on the train is Olivia. Olivia is using a lot of different colors, capital letters at this point, but as you start to watch, you'll see that it moves into lowercase as we move through the year. So the year starts here and moves this way. Okay, this is Jackson. Jackson's at capital letters. He also has little characters on his. Here is where he started. We have more floating in the air for most students at this point, then to spatial awareness and bringing the parts together, all the shapes, then here, and we moved on here on our TK train. Next is Braxton. Braxton has his name here, and then you'll see when they get to the end, they think they have to drop down, so here's last letters down here. This is great. Here he started here, moved on to his spatial awareness with Matman, and again, moved all the way through. Here's Derringer, loves a lot of stickers. I can look at her here already, capital D and all lowercase. I love this G, that's how it starts beginning writing. Matman has a lot to do with that as well, so you have this Derringer here, and then she fills in with shapes, her body and her hands, and more details and eyelashes and colors, moving right along to all of her different animals as well. This is Elliot. Sweet Elliot has the same thing. She started off with her hair. Her body's not quite here. These are her legs. But then, look, just within weeks, it might even just be a couple months, so about 8 weeks, then they move over here right after that. And again, look at the tail, the swirly tail. They had to cut and do their own tail too. Moving right along, we have Alexia. She was the birthday girl here. She started off here. She already had hair on hers. She had some shapes. She even has polka dots on her dress. To here, the spatial, and then into the oval cutting, and then to the mini pieces here. Next on the train is Tegan. Tegan started writing, trying to write lowercase. As you see, they're separated here. But it's the beginning of writing. Many hearts here. You can barely see her here. She was drawing in yellow, but you see the smiley face. Same here. You can see her names inside here, so when they run out of the room, they drop down. And we teach them to put it all back in a row. And then here's her characters. Moving on is Andrew. Andrew started with a pumpkin on a top. And then here he is. You could almost see that he has some of the elements of Matman here already. And then again, he puts it all together here. Moves on to all the many different pieces to create the animals. Last but not least on the TK train is Alexandria. Alexandria loves to make flowers. I can see there's already animals at the top. Here's how she started. Then she moved on to the Madman. And then you can see that she used her oval differently. Still, it works very good onto our smaller animals. Okay, this is Madman. Welcome to Matman. This is part of our language and literacy activities, and they learn to put the whole different parts to make the circle, the face, the eyes, the hair, the arms, the body, the legs, the feet. As many details is what starts the Matman that leads into letters. So we go from here. You could even actually take this apart and you can put it over here, and then you have the letter D. We always start our letters from the top, straight line down, then they jump back to the top and they make their curved line. And that is the TK train.
Hi, we're in room 12 today with Mrs. Lane, Mrs. Dina Lane. And a fun fact about Mrs. Lane is that she has taught pre-K, TK, and kindergarten. So she's a perfect fit for this class. Mrs. Lane, how long have you taught here at Los Altos?
6 years.
And tell me the characteristics about this class.
TK is the bridge between pre-K and kindergarten. So those kids that miss the cutoff date, they have that 3 months, because we used to start in December. The December 2nd was a cutoff date, now it's September 1st. So that's the ones between September, October, and November, or the ones that want to do an extra year before going to kindergarten. And so we use this time to bridge them over and provide more concepts for them to get really ready for kindergarten.
Tell me about this class in particular. Tell me some characteristics about the children in this particular class.
They are sweet, witty, smart, courageous, bold, and a fun-filled group. Boy, do I miss them.
I was going to ask you, what do you miss most about not being together?
I'm such a people person. I just love seeing them. Their sweet faces, their smiles, their hugs. It's just infectious. Boy, do I miss them. What a blessing they are.
Great. Well, let's look at some of the work in the classroom.
Okay, over here, I want to show you that we always have our Bible verse up. So it's John 3:16 right now. We're also into new life, moving into construction, like transportation, and community helpers, which is such a great time to talk about community helpers. And then we put down some sight words are up here for you. It says a joyful heart, a smile. Let's not forget God is good all the time. Also over here we talk about compound words. They're here for you. So I have a picture of a cup plus a cake, and then we put them together for cupcake. So that's our compound word. We take, this is our art activity for new life. So we take it from seed to root to sprout to leaves, and then all the way up to the new seeds. And then you're going to see the flower completely, the petals are forming here, and then they put it together themselves, and they will transfer these words onto their paper with their own writing.
And I hope that at home that you're planting seeds too. We set those seeds home for you to plant.
Yeah, so it is such a fun time to talk about new life, because spring is everywhere right now. Here is, we're always building our life on the rock, which is Jesus Christ. And we have our lowercase letters, so that's totally TK. We're taking it from the uppercase letters to the lowercase letters, X, Y, Z, so we're already at the end of that. And using our sticks and using starting with our happy face, we always start our letters at the top, so we teach that. And then we talked about concept of slanted letters, and then jumping back to the top for number 2. So number 1, number 2 shows us exactly how to form letters. This is the beginning of homework for this class, so it's our little readers. They get little tiny, they're just little books that go home. And they talk about, they have sight words in them like is. They're just like hats, hats, hats. And then they add some more words in there to put beginning sentences together. So we look at periods, we look at question marks at the end, and it's just the beginning of reading. Okay, here we are at Bible. So this is our Bible board. We are always talking at the top, Jesus is the Prince of Peace. And then this is one of the Bible stories. This is such an amazing time for the TKers. We get to read the Bible stories, and they put it back together in a sequence. So this is King Herod and the three wise men. The three wise men saw the star, so they knew. They went over to tell King Herod the good news about the king being born, the Messiah. Then they took a long journey on camels, and you can see that's in the story here, the camels. And then the three wise men came to Jesus, and they brought gifts. So we can see first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, the sequence of events from the story. Now, I want to make sure that you know this is Alexandria's, this is Derringer's, and each one of them has the freedom to share the story in the way that they see best. So here is Braxton's. He used it this way. He still has a sequence of events here. So Braxton. Also, I wanted to let you know that there is the beginning of the story right here where their name is, the three wise men, and then it says by Lila. So we'll get to her at the end. This is upside down, so we'll bring it this way. This is Paisley's. This is her story. Here is Alexia's. Here is Eli's, Elijah. Here is Tegan's. Here's Elliot's. So each one of them tells a story just a little bit differently, with their own gifts and talents. Andrew's. Levi's. Jackson's. And Olivia's. Van's. Each one of them is so talented. And Malachi's. And last but not least, Miss Lila's. And that is our Bible story. This is the wall where we do our Bible stories. Taking it from the Bible story to art and math. Hi everyone, now we're going to be looking at sight words. Sight words are also a part of TK. It's new for TKers. So here's our bridge. You can see that the sight words are here along with all your birds are here, and then we have more sight words on the Bible board and more sight words in our dramatic play area and all the way around the classroom to our artboard over here. You'll see all 20 sight words are here for you. We always like to start with I and A, because not only are they letters, but they're words, and they learn that. And then we go all the way around the room. We start with the easiest, and then go to 2 letters, and then the words that have 3 letters. But it always leads us back to Jesus is the living word. So they get to learn how to read. Remember your artwork here? How we put your artwork and then underneath the same concepts are below. So when we first started talking about insects, we talked about the bee with the beehive. Then we moved on to spiders. What's the difference between a spider and an insect? Those legs, that's right. How many legs does a spider have? How many legs does an insect have? And this is what we talked about also, our compound words. Ladybug, putting that together and it becomes a new word. Okay, this is Alexandria's work. And if we move right along, we see this is Alexia. There's her spider. There's her bee and beehive. Andrew, his ladybug. See how he wrote his coming down over here. I love that. And then his spider and his bee and beehive. Let's go down to Braxton. And his spider. I love that they're, look at this, a little longer and shorter on this side. And then his beehive. And here's the word bee. And Derringer's. Hers is to the side, gives her a little more space, and then her spider and her bee. Right down here is Elijah's. Elijah's spider, he went with brown. Look at his eyes, they're in various places. And his bee with blue eyes. They're all a little different. And here is Elliot's, her ladybug with the eyelashes, her spider, and her bee. Now Jackson was on vacation during this time, so he missed the week of talking about spiders and talking about insects, and he loves them. So I put him as the owl looking at everything in the classroom. Now moving right along, we have Levi's work. So Levi has his antennas at the tops. They're red. You see how they all have their little dots, black dots on their ladybugs. And here's his spider. Let's see. And here is his bee. And here's Lila's. As you see, they're all just a little bit different with the eyes and the nose. It looks like a little nose right there, right? And then she did a blue spider. Wow. And here's her bee. Next is Malachi's. Malachi, you can see he counted his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 antennas. Great job. And then he must have not been here for the spider, so he did the bee. Down here is Olivia's. I like her little dots all over the place. And then her bee. So these two don't have the spider, but they have the bee and the ladybug. Here's Paisley. Paisley combined her two. That was kind of a lot like the picture there, combined it right here in the middle. And her spider, wow, look at that spider. Different colors with eyelashes and a smile. And bees with the stripes. Yellow and black, a pattern. Now over here, Tegan has many, many, many dots on her ladybug. And here's her bee. So no spider here. Here we go. And this is Van. He did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the dots. And his antennas are here too. Here's his spider with an eye on the top and an eye on the bottom, looking at both ends. Then here is his bee. And this is our TK art wall for our units. This is where we learn. This is also part of literacy and language. We make our books here in TK. So we did our creation days. So the 6 days of creation and the 7th day of rest is here for you. And then our 5 senses, all the way back at the beginning of the year.
Boys and girls, you know, as we went through this class, Room 12, it made me realize how much we miss you. Seeing your names, seeing your pictures, seeing the work that you did. You are amazing kids. It was wonderful to look at the work that you did. We hope to see you soon. Hope to see you back this year or maybe this summer. But in closing, I just wanted to tell you how much we love you, how we hope that you're staying safe and healthy. and to remember that Jesus loves you.
Oh boy, it's been a heart-filled, wonderful, wonderful year. And even in this time that we've been able to just be able to see each other somewhat and still be able to say hi and give hugs and kisses. I miss you tremendously. I can't wait to see you again. And I just wanted to close by saying Miss Strasberg makes all this stuff happen in our classroom. We do not want to forget about her influence in this classroom. We love her and miss her as well. Remember, this is your cubbies. Here's your homework, right? And all the love that Jesus fills our heart with. Thank you.